Petit Pressigny, a small village of 340 inhabitants, deep in the middle of France, on the edge of the Brenne National Park, keeps a delectable family secret, La Promenade, a village bistro that masks a Michelin-starred restaurant, run by the same family for 4 generations, the Dallet.
Order starters, 2 scallops to follow, 1 sweetbread, 1 pork chop.
Today, it's Fabrice Dallet who's at the restaurant's helm, and he's known this kitchen since a tender age.
As a kid, I used to bake cakes, especially marbled ones. My mum loved that, except when I did the dishes, because I broke too many things. I started with cooking, then did pastry. I've always loved making pastries. This is an old dessert I did for the French Dessert Championships 20 years ago, though it wasn't like this. It's evolved since. It's a kind of reworked tiramisu with a fromage blanc mousse, a parmesan crisp and sponge cake drizzled with coffee, topped with a fine slab of chocolate. Tiramisu revisited, but much better.
After spending his youth in the region, the young chef went off to Paris to train under renowned chefs Guy Savoy and Pierre Gagnard before returning home.
Yes, it's real pork. Madam, you have the kid goat sweetbreads, caper butter and celery tagliatelle. And you, sir, Iberian pork chop with glazed tomatoes and cabbage butter. And both are served with mashed potato. Enjoy your meal.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
What about the sauce?
Green pea, slightly creamy to give a touch of acidity and sweetness.
Right you are.
Before Fabrice, it was his father Jacky who ran the restaurant. Now retired, the ex-chef is never far from the kitchen. He still spends 5 hours a week here, but in a much more relaxed mood.
I need to keep myself busy. The weather's not much good for gardening, and I'm not much of a gardener anyway. I keep myself busy, but with no rushing around. I take time to read the newspaper. I change the light bulbs, fix leaky taps, and then I do a bit of cooking. It's nice.
And when he's not helping his son in the kitchen, Jacky has time to visit his mother, Lucienne.
It's us. Hello, Mum.
Hello, Jacky.
It was she who started it all.
All good?
Looking good.
When we arrived in 1960, it was just a bar. Then I gradually started doing a bit of home cooking for traveling salesmen and workmen.
In the early 1980s, Jacky took over the reins and maintained the family bistro authenticity.
When we took over, we carried on doing what they did. A bistro with the day's fixed menu. We also sold bottles of gas. We didn't have paper tablecloths, but real red and white checked ones with individual paper settings and napkins. And we scored 14, then 15 in Go et Mio with just that.
15, 16, then 17 in Go et Mio, until the star in the Michelin Guide, awarded in 1989 to this disciple of Joël Robuchon. The family bistro suddenly became gastronomic and welcomed a new clientele.
And when he got that first star?
Oh, things went crazy.
It was a long way from Lucienne's bistro and her family dishes for regulars.
On pancake day, she'd make pancakes for all the regulars. She'd put string inside and folded the pancakes over. And when you ate one, you were like this.
La Promenade, bistro turned Michelin-starred restaurant, is a moving family story whose finest pages are yet to be written, perhaps.
Have you popped in to eat?
Fabrice's 15-year-old daughter, Constance, wants to become a sommelier.
Enjoy your meal.
As for his son, 19-year-old Clément Dallet, he also got hooked as a kid, and he's now studying for his chef's diploma.
Show me that fork.
Living up to the family heritage is a massive challenge for the young man.
I don't have the same experience as my dad and granddad. I suppose I put pressure on myself, saying they're more experienced. But it's only natural. They have a past, and they've worked in top restaurants. I'm just an apprentice.
While waiting for Clément to qualify,
Oh, wait.
Jacky and Fabrice keep on treating the gourmets who come from far afield to feast on seasonal cuisine, where tradition is a foundation for creativity.
We try to do our work the best we can, and that's that. We're just cooks and waiters. We try to please people as much as we can. That's our job, to please. The main thing is to become their favourites, and I believe we're one of our diners' favourites.
For more than 40 years, a star has shone over Le Petit Pressigny. 4 generations of chefs have turned this charming bistro into a mecca of French gastronomy.